So what's the first thing you remember about coming to America?
Oh boy, it's so funny because I never had the idea of what to expect. So our first port of entry is in Hawaii, and we were not told not to bring all this sort of things. So we brought some food which are illegal, like mango and red eggs. So they have to capture that at the airport. And our next stop over was in Los Angeles, and we were told that we have to buy our thick coats or jackets because we're going to Illinois. And in December, when I arrived in America, December 16, they said that it's already snowing in Illinois and very cold, so they told us to go buy our jackets.
So when you arrived to Illinois, was it snowing?
I was kind of frustrated because the first thing I looked outside the plane was, I said, where's the snow? I thought there will be snow so I can have my picture taken and send it right away to the Philippines, but there was no snow whatsoever. And I said, the only reason why I came to Illinois and I chose Illinois is because they said there's snow. And I said, where's the snow? So my family and my friends back in the Philippines were expecting that I should be sending this picture, but at that time when we landed at the O'Hare airport.
So why did you settle in Illinois? Just because of the snow?
Yeah, that's one reason. Actually, they gave us these choices where to go: California, Michigan, Arizona. But since I heard that Chicago, I heard about Chicago being a very nice city, I did choose that, and also the fact that there's a snow there. And some of my classmates, I believe sisters, also work in Illinois.
Okay. Did you live in a house, in an apartment, or where did you stay?
In a house,
Okay. And who was that with?
my administrator, and at that time it was kind of hard because I didn't know that right away we have to pay our rent and we have to pay for everything, so it was a struggle at first.
So how did you get the money if you just basically started in Illinois?
I only have, like in my pocket at that time, I only have, I believe, $100 in my pocket, and the $50 went to buy my jacket. So I only have 50, and I have to buy my food and everything. And luckily, my landlady was good enough to say, okay, you pay us with your first rent on your first salary.
Did you experience any discrimination in Illinois?
One of my patients actually, because I work in a nursing home, and I didn't expect that the patients I'll be getting would be elderly, and some of them are confused. So I'm not also used in dealing with the old people. I mostly have adults or children in the Philippines, and very rare do I have an old patient. So when I got to work in the nursing home, I was kind of surprised to find the patient I'll be having. Most of them, like what I said, are confused, but of course most of them are also nice. And since I don't know how to deal with some of the patients, I kind of tend to uh, tell them they have to take their medicines. So I insist that she take her medicine, and I know it's for her own good because these medicines are very important for her health. And she got very mad, and she told me that she is not taking any medicines from a high school kid, and she thinks that I'm not a nurse. I probably look too young to think that I'm already a nurse, and she thinks I'm just in high school. And she even told me to go back to Hawaii where I belong, because when I first came to America, I was a little dark complexion.
Okay. Was that the only time you ever experienced discrimination?
Yeah, I think so because a lot of times the people I met and work with are really very, very nice, and they're very excited to work with a Filipino because they said that this is the first time that they'd seen a Filipina, and they're kind of excited to work with one also because from where I started working, it's a suburban area in Illinois, and there's hardly anybody there, foreigner, for that matter.
Okay. So since you're a nurse and you're Filipino, were you ever stereotyped for being a typical Filipino nurse?
To be honest with you, a lot or 99.9% of my patients really like Filipino nurses, and even the employers, they like Filipino nurses because according to them, Filipino nurses are very hardworking, and I certainly agree to that because I work hard.
Okay. So what did you do on your spare time in Illinois besides work?
My friends from Chicago would visit me, and we would just go out joyriding. And at one point, we saw these fields and fields of corn. And you know, sometimes you have this feeling of saying, who owns all this corn? So maybe I shouldn't say it, but it's one of the fun experiences I have. We were wondering if we can just get a little bit of the corn because we kind of long for the corn from the Philippines. So we took some corn and we were cooking it for almost a whole day already, and the corn never got tender enough or soft to be eaten. And it turned out that no matter what we do, the corn will never get soft or tender because it's not meant to be eaten by human beings, but by only the like the horses or the chicken, whatever.